Welcome to Mud Rogue. I got an update for you guys today. This is going to be awesome. Just want to cover 3 subjects. I know y'all know about them. I want to give you my take. The liberation of Bakhmut. Bakhmut has not fallen. Bakhmut has been freed from the Ukrainian oppression. That's one. Second, about the nuking of Ukraine. Saying somebody dropped a nuke on Ukraine? Yeah, they kaboomed themselves. Y'all remember the British were going to send, and they did, the depleted uranium shells over to Ukraine. And the Russians would go, whoa, that stuff's dangerous, long-term effects, cancer on the population, blah, 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 blah. And if I remember correctly, the Western media and the British, there's nothing to worry about. Apparently, there's something to worry about, and they're worried. And I wanted to throw in, I got a bunch of little random stuff, and I'm gonna tack some of that in there, just to stuff that turkey just fine. All right, so let's get going with today's show. All right, boys. I know there's some girls out there, but you know what I mean. Boys, let's take a look at the kaboom. There we go. This is like, oh my God, the humanity in it. Look at that kaboom. I am saddened to any Ukrainian soldiers and militants that may have been harmed in this kaboom. So I want to show you this over here also. All right, guys, take a quick. I believe this is the same kaboom, and the first kaboom, again, because of the YouTube, I cannot verify the date, time, or what the incident actually is. So let's just use it as a demonstration or as a visual aid to the story I'm putting out. All right, YouTube? So let's look at this kaboom, which allegedly, again, is the explosion of the depleted uranium ammunition dump that the half of it that the Ukrainians had that was sent over by the UK. Look at this. Oh, the mushroom cloud. Look at that. Look at that. Kaboom! Let's pause it. Jefferson Earl, I think he's just a casual. He writes, just in devastating blast, massive explosion of ammunition depot in the Kremlinsky, Ukraine. Reports confirm radiation levels are increasing in the surrounding atmosphere. I got some info on that. We told the British and Ukrainians, do not use depleted uranium. Russia has hit Ukrainian hard. People stand up against this war before we enter nuclear conflict, and that is true. But remember for those pro-Ukrainians who believe all the lies that the media tells you. You were believing that hogwash that the depleted uranium doesn't do anything. It's not going to cause cancer. It's not a big deal. The Russians are just being crybabies. Who's the crybaby now? Wah, wah, wah. You are the crybaby. Now let's take a look at what the results of this kaboom are right over here. All right, and over here we see daily average gamma dose rates. I believe it's the gamma, like the Incredible Hulk gamma radiation. Let's hope it doesn't turn all the Ukrainians into Incredible Hulks. What is probably going to happen over the next few generations is every Ukrainian, Polish person, German, Western European is going to grow a third arm. I suggest that you use that third arm to scratch your stupid ass. So there isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal. I don't know why the Russians are crying about the British sending over depleted uranium. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry, Ukrainians and pro-Ukrainians. I am laughing at your glowing ass. Gamma radiation glowing ass. You were told, don't do it. And Putin said, let them send it over. We got an answer to that depleted uranium. The prevailing winds are going to blow that radiation all over Western Ukraine into Poland. Poor Romania. I like my Romanian friends and Romanians. Is the West any stupider than they could be? When Russia hit the ammunition dump, a depleted uranium British shells, they basically set off a tactical nuke, a pretty good sized one. I've heard other reports. Once the war is over, that large portions of this part of Ukraine is used for growing agricultural products, meat, corn, wheat, whatnot. Maybe not corn, but you get the idea. Agricultural products. I would be careful in the coming years of the food that hits Europe that comes out of this region of Ukraine. The Ukrainians and the United States and the rest of NATO had just made a mess of this war. Now let's talk about the liberation of Bakhmut. Now, YouTube, if you sense that I am in a celebratory mood, that has nothing to do with the Russians liberating Bakhmut from the evil, despicable Ukrainians. I am celebrating that the conflict in Bakhmut is over, and that the Russians will not have to kill any more Ukrainians. See, you see, so I'm kind of on your side. I'm celebrating that the Russians don't have to kaboom the Ukrainians. Right. I'm not necessarily celebrating the liberation of Bakhmut. So let's get over to that story now. I know some of you are like, man, why am I watching this dude? Why are you watching this dude? No, I'm not drunk. Let's move on. So here, what we see is a map of Bakhmut. Bakhmut is the bright red area, of course, and it has all been liberated by the Wagners. Let me talk to you strategy. I had heard of some diabolical crap that the Wagner was pulling on the Ukrainians. Turns out that the Wagners on the flanks of the center of Bakhmut were strategically withdrawing. The Ukrainians thinking, we got him on the run. No, he didn't. So, as the Wagners pulled back on the flanks, the Ukrainians flooded those areas and supported the center less. Well, that allowed the Wagners to move in and thoroughly clean out that part of the center part of Bakhmut and move in and take it. But the Wagners were not retreating because they were running or they were weak. It was kind of like a trap. And so then they brought the flanks back up. They crushed the Ukrainians. It looks like the Perletsky, I can't remember his name, the Wagner chief. He's been playing head games with the Ukrainians. Now, for a moment there, I was thinking the homeboy was losing his mind. But it's starting to look like this whole thing was a trap. About a week ago or something, the Ukrainians had advanced about 500 meters into Bakhmut, taking it back. Pro-Ukrainians were like, yeah, we got you on the run. We're going to take back the city. Right? And I was kind of concerned myself that a Ukrainian counteroffensive might take place in Bakhmut and that the Russians would fall back maybe even all the way out of the city. Turns out it looks like a lot of that was planned. And just like, and I almost forgot my own advice, my own observation that I've told you before, because I've seen it in several places, but most notably in Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. In both cities, before the Russian troops took the entire city and drove the Ukrainians out, in both situations, the Ukrainians advanced, taking significant territory in the cities. As they did, they came out of cover, they got whacked, and then they got driven back, and then some, and then out of the city. Same thing happened in Severodonetsk, same thing happened in Lysychansk, same thing happened here. Just before the fall, I want to say liberation. Just before the liberation of Bakhmut, the Ukrainians did that push, which they tend to do just before they get crushed and rolled. And this time it looks like the Wagners played into that Ukrainian psychology. The Ukrainians wanted to hold on to it, and they gave it one last oomph. The Russians said, that's good, we can work with that. And they let them come in. A couple of days later, or maybe a week later, the Russians managed to drive them back out of that, and boom, kicked their asses all the way out of the city. Okay, so here what you're seeing is I keep calling it a Caliber missile, but it's not a Caliber missile. It's a hypersonic Russian missile. It's coming in, and this Patriot battle system, which amounts to, I believe, three units, it's firing off. The report is that it's firing off close to 30 frickin' missiles. One missile is coming at them, and all three batteries are boom, 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 and they can't hit it. They freaking can't hit it. It's almost like panic launches. Launch them all! Launch them, Scotty! I need more power! and nothing. It's not working. And at the end, after shooting their wad, after shooting their American-made missile wad, hitting nothing. Let me see if I can get it all the way to the end over here. The Russian, boom, right there. I was told, alleged for all this for the YouTube, I was told that when the hypersonic missile came in, it was an aerial burst, and it destroyed all three Patriot battle units. And there's some people saying, no, how can one missile destroy three units? Well, it all has to do with the way here we are, there we are. It all has to do with the way that the Americans set up their units. They're too close together. And if you looked at that image when they were firing the 30 missiles, they were pretty much coming from the same general area. If you bunch your battery units too close together, it's not going to take more than one missile to take them out. Now, for those of you that made it this far, I want to do a little show and tell. I've done show and tell before when I introduced you to Sig. Sig is a good friend. Sig stays beside me all the time. Let's be safe here. I don't keep anything in it. Figure if someone breaks in, I'm going to rack one and they're going to hear it. Obviously, whenever using a firearm for home safety, follow the law, follow the rules, train with the weapon and know how to use it, and don't do anything illegal. Ultimately, a weapon is to keep the peace. It's not to kill somebody. People are going, that's not true. No, that's what I believe. I believe it's to keep the peace. Ultimately, if you could scare someone by racking it, if I ever have to use it, I have training with weapons. It's my instinct to rack around, and I would be hoping in such a case that the noise from racking it would scare the person away, or give them a warning. I own weapons for self-defense, hunting, end of the world, zombie apocalypse. I don't own them to hurt people. If I could scare someone by simply racking around, then that is great. That is ideal. Hopefully, those of you that own weapons never have to use them to take a human life. That would just be terrible. Also, remember to follow your local laws and ordinances in your cities. Do things legally. Take your weapon out. Be trained with it. I'm trained with it. I used to fire weapons for a living. I wasn't in the military, so let me just put it down. But during the COVID situation, the government gave us money. Some people went and bought food with that money. Some people paid off bills. At the time, I didn't have very many bills. And I didn't own any weapons. So Uncle Sam, thank you for helping me purchase a self-defense implement. But SIG, remember we had two COVID relief stimulus checks. Well, the first stimulus check bought SIG. But the second stimulus check, SIG was lonely. SIG needed a friend. So, people say, buy a dog for your dog so your dog won't be lonely. Well, SIG was lonely, so I purchased a Ghostbuster. Smith & Wesson's Ghostbuster for SIG as a buddy. And I wanted to introduce you guys. Ghostbuster is a Smith & Wesson AR-15. There we are. Ghostbuster. According to, this is in legislation, this arm brace, and if that goes through, I'm going to have to remove it. Oh well, it's not a big deal. It's actually going to make it like a little Uzi, which is kind of nice. But the law might go in that this has to be removed. So that may, I don't oppose that. I'm thinking about removing it anyways. And then chucking it, right? Maybe put like a dark tennis ball there. But this I bought with the second stimulus check. It's a saint. Here, right there. It's Smith & Wesson Saint. Means it is a good boy. It's a nice toy. I purchased this also. It's a laser sight. I guess you can call it that. Yeah, yeah guys. And then I bought this off color because I just thought it looked cool. So this is the front sight. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys this. It is Sig's big brother. I'm just checking, making sure it's empty. And I store it without a clip. It's accessible, and I can quickly get it set up to how I need to use it, should I need to use it. You never know when the zombie apocalypse is going to start, and it always pays to be prepared. And a matter of fact, I hope things don't get bad. There's a lot of talk about the financial crisis and that things should get bad. So let's hope it doesn't get bad. If it does, y'all should be prepared. Be prepared with extra food and water and implements of defense. And like I said, always use your firearms in a legal manner. And the point of a firearm is the same point of a thermonuclear warhead. It is to keep the peace, not to make war. Okay, let's move on to the next story. All right, guys, I want to remind you to head over to the Discord channel and sign up for the War Room. Soul Fox runs the show. Happy birthday, Soul Fox. DTV 415. He's kind of like the information officer over there. And I want to thank Daniel for everything he posts. He posts things that I can't post on YouTube and or Odyssey. But he does a great job. Daniel has his own channel. Follow him if you get a chance. He's a great contributor. Thank you again, Soul Fox, for everything you're doing over there. And happy birthday. And I want to see you guys. I want to see those numbers over there on the Discord channel go up. So if you haven't yet joined the Discord, head over there and check it out. Now, I have one more video for you. This was sent to me by a loyal viewer. And the description is that this is Ukrainian soldiers being pushed out of Bakhmut by Zelensky himself. Apparently, Zelensky found time to go down to Bakhmut and help his troops retreat. So let's take a look at that. I have been deceived. I have been deceived. I do not think this is Zelensky helping his troops retreat out of Bakhmut. To say alleged, so this is allegedly, all right, for the YouTube, this is allegedly Zelensky helping his troops retreat out of Bakhmut. Now, whoever sent me this, if you meant this as a joke, this is not funny at all.